Molly, and I am the GM here. You are watching the Concord on AOTT on the Transverse. Welcome. When last we caught up with our heroes, our heroine and our heroes, they had just had steeled themselves as they were viciously honked at by a goose. And beat back a few mergoblins and their trusty giant lizards. As they went through the cave from which these goblins sprung forth, they came across some strange weaponry that seemed out of place. Shards of giant-sized weapons. And as they're starting to piece this together and kind of figure out what's going on in this situation, all of a sudden the kind of the binding fabric of magic that brings the world together rattles for each of them. And as this happens, Kendell is drawn down into a trance state. So, as the same as Kendell, when he was first struck in combat, he stared into the shifting black sands, like a morass of swirling eddies of mist and dark sand. And this time, the same black sand and the same smoke is forming these eddies and swirls and everything in front of him. And a small pinprick of resplendent light flickers in front of him. As this light flickers, the vision forms into a spinning wheel, as though there were a spoked wheel spinning underneath the sand. But every time Kendell goes to focus on it, his eyes can't seem to focus, and it seems almost imperceptible. But there's this distinct feeling of spinning. What would you like to do?
So if he were to reach out, he would not be able to. Kendell is going to reach out to it to see if maybe touching it will help him to understand what's happening.
So you're reaching into kind of the dark sand, or you're reaching in towards the light?
Reaching towards the wheel.
Okay, so as you reach into it, the wheel, you feel the motion, but for a second, the kind of, you feel the grittiness of volcanic sand pouring through your fingers, and then the sensation shifts to smoke, and then it shifts to kind of a liquid, and then it shifts to smoke again. And then it, as quickly as you're kind of recognizing these different forms, it changes again. And you're never able to like completely hammer it down. You for a second, you get the beginning of the thought, oh, this is gritty. You get the beginning of the thought, like, my hand's wet. But you're never able to really cement it. And there's this bright light shining in the middle of it.
So Kendall's very confused and disoriented. And so what he would do if he was confused and disoriented is he would turn to his god. And so he's going to look at the scene before him with all this swirling dark sand and smoke and this bright pinprick in it. And he's going to very quietly ask, Kendred, is that you?
And you see kind of as this inscrutable spinning continues, you see a quick a pulse go through it that is different from what you can sort of remember.
Okay. Seeing some kind of reaction possibly to what he said, he's going to try again and see if he gets that same reaction. And he's going to this time say, Kendred, it is your humble servant, Kendell.
The wheel spins. A voice kind of drifts, not from any direction, not from the white, not from the wheel. Kind of, it seems to be in your head and outside of your head all at the same time.
And what do I hear from the voice?
The wheel spins.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's happening? Where are we?
And so you will get, you'll see kind of in third person the goblin's arrow burying yourself in your back, and it's in your back, and you'll see, and it will kind of the view that is shown to you will be yourself falling forward, face down into the muck in this goblin cavern, and your body breaks into this same kind of onyx sand.
Kendrick is going to put his hand to his chest as if to grab at something. You can tell me if it's there. He usually wears a symbol of his god on a necklace that he keeps under his shirt because he's not trying to have it on display. It's more of a prayer-focused comfort item than anything. So he's going to reach to try to hold it.
And you where it should be, you still get the same sensation of this ever churning. So you get the feeling of the necklace for a second, and then it changes to something. It feels hot, and then it feels cold, and then this cycle of sensory feelings that you can't really hammer down continues churning and churning as you try to grab and hold on to this.
So Kendell is going to take a very deep breath to try to steady himself. Is he standing in this space?
It would probably be more of a float. I mean, there's not as much. If he tries to think about it too much, things again start changing because the wheels never stop turning.
He's going to try to assume a position similar to what he takes when he is meditating on the 8 spokes of Kendrick's wheels.
Okay.
Kendrick's wheel. And for him, that is relaxed, cross-legged, not anything overly, what's the word, rigid, just really just relaxed. And he's going to try breathing for a moment, and he's going to start reciting the spokes. Would you like me to go through them?
Sure.
Okay.
You may be interrupted.
Okay. So he's going to take a deep breath, and he's going to say, service. Our journeys are enriched by each other's efforts. Service. Simplicity. Our belongings belong to the world, not only to us. Truth. An honest life honors those who have come before us.
And you feel your mind as you start to kind of conjure, as you're bringing that into your mind, you'll hear this. The image will conjure of the goblins falling in combat. You'll see them as you see kind of maybe Kendall's first death. You'll see this vividly in your mind as they are pinned up against the wall by Aelin's crossbow bolts. And he said, and the voice will say, "No wheel can turn perpetually." And then the voice will alter. The shattered jade wind forms the eddies that drive our wheels. And the voice will alter. The shattered jade's eye does not focus on what was provided it in this cave. And that's meant to say that the losses here are what spin our wheels, is what keep the wheels spinning.
So he hears those words and feels their meaning, similar to how you would in a dream.
Oh.
Okay. And when he saw the image of the goblins, he was about to say the next spoke.
And this was in response to you saying the spoke that you just said.
And seeing the goblins, his voice catches, and he is momentarily silenced, not necessarily by the words, but by the image. And he's able to just focus. He's able to focus on the image and is having a little bit of trouble focusing on the words, though he does understand their meaning. Because the next tenet was peace. And
as you begin to recite this, you feel this, with that image in your mind, you still feel this intense sense of calm, as though like gears are spinning in the direction that they should spin.
And he is not as clearly spoken now because the image of the goblins and what had happened to him is shaking him a little. Peace. Do not rush the turning of another's wheel. But do not let others stop yours either.
And so as you recite this tenet, you get this picture of yourself falling to sand and this dissolution once again. And you hear the voices say, "The wheel turns," and then it shifts. "The darkness permits small pinpricks of light. So massive stars fall from the sky. So civilizations break. Care not where you ride within the ever-churning. Simply acknowledge its existence."
You care not?
We must care not. You will take many shapes every time the wheel turns.
The changing of shape doesn't matter. We still ride the wheel. This life continues, but if it hadn't, that would not have been tragedy. I would have been in a new shape.
And you feel kind of a flash. You see the kind of the light.
There is a comfort in that. And that is a very good reflection. I feel you so strongly now, but earlier it seemed you were gone.
You see, so as you see that, you see an image of a face that's unknown to you, and there's a bright blue iris that this vision is appearing in front of you. And this iris, it seems to be, you see kind of the eye around it, and the skin, it becomes gray, and the life seems to be pulled from it. And as this happens, this bright blue iris, this aqua blue, becomes a pale shade of light gray. And with that, when that happens, there seems to be the feeling of sand, this feeling of smoke, it starts to shake, and the Kendell feels himself bend into shapes that are only possible in the mathematician's handbook. And go ahead.
He's going to try to reach out for something, anything.
And so as this happens, you see the kind of the black, this comforting, ever shifting sensory darkness that's been all around him with this pinprick seems to dissolve into these same bands and be twisted into these different geometric shapes. And this eye that has replaced, that kind of is occupying your vision, you feel, Kindred, you don't feel the spirit there anymore. You don't feel that connection to your deity anymore. This is something different. This is something otherworldly. This is something that you've never felt before.
When Kendell reached out and everything changed into those geometric figures, was he able to touch any of them?
No, because as like, so like the hand will reach out and you're thinking like, you'll bend, it bends you dimensionally. It seems to have control over some aspect of existence that you don't completely grasp. And so as you're putting effort out to try to touch this or to try to interact with the space in front of you, it bends back in towards you, or it will go off in another direction. And it seems to be moving in a way that maybe you had thought to maybe move your hand that way, but it's going in a different direction that you would also consider moving your hand. And so as you're kind of flailing around, you seem to be moving through multiple different ways that you would flail around as you're being bent and distressed.
With his body so bent and so distorted, I don't think he will be able to get the same comfort he would out of his normal meditative position. And so he will desperately try to find something to hold on to that makes sense to him. And he is going to start the spokes back at the beginning, and he's going to try to get through every word with real focus on each individual word.
And so as you go through again, and you're sort of trying to bring this space back, the words come out of your mouth in this jumble. It's as though chaos has taken over kind of Kendall's ability to iterate or the ability to think. It seems that the actual essence of chaos itself seems to be sort of occupying you in this space as you were communing with your god. Something else has interposed and is making it seeming nearly impossible for you to get through words. Again, the eye will fade, and you'll end up in this black space once again. And you'll feel, you'll kind of have a sensory feeling of plants around you. They're made of that same thing. It seems to be the garden, but it's all in that same thing. And you see the light is burning brighter, and there's a feeling of unease that washes over you.
Is he still distorted? Are the plants distorted?
You seem to be back where you were. Whatever the interruption was seems to have faded.
He is going to will himself to move to the light. There doesn't seem to be anything else that makes sense in this world to him right now. And he doesn't know how to move in this space, so he's just going to try to will himself to move.
And so as you're kind of like focusing on your connection with Kindred to try to move yourself in this space instead of using your physical body, you're able to move the light doesn't get any closer, it doesn't get any larger, but it is significantly larger. And as this feeling of unease comes over, and he's finally figuring out how to maybe navigate the space a bit better, running his hands over plants, feeling different things, you'll hear the alternating voices again, and they'll say, where the void was once weak, it grows in strength. Forces that were used to maintain order are seeding chaos against their own will. The wheel must turn. The balance must be restored. And this, again, alternating high, low, this deep masculine voice, this high, very feminine voice, an androgynous voice. And it seems to be different people each time, different accents, different languages, but you always understand what they're saying.
Right. And just to clarify, it didn't get bigger or closer, but it got brighter.
It got brighter after you emerged, after the vision of the eye faded, the sunken and drained eye.
I think Kendrick is realizing that these different voices are all... that Kendell is realizing that these different voices are all one, the way we all go through different shapes. And he's sort of starting to resolve them in his own mind into one being, even if there is that dissonant quality to it. And as they say, the wheel must turn, that balance must be restored. He doesn't nod with his body, but he nods with his mind, because this entire... after how his body was distorted and how it felt like he did not have control over it, he's being a little more reticent with how he uses his body in this space. But he agrees, and he does that by thinking very strongly, Amen.
And so with that happening, you will get this, the sand will start to swirl beneath you or above you or beside you. You're not really sure. And
Kendell will lean into that.
And then you'll find yourself just after the moment after the shake, and you find yourself back in the room with Karis bent over, lapping at the water in the freshwater pond. You see Odd kind of pouring, Odd and Elon pouring over kind of the broken weaponry, and you're back where you started. What would you like to do? Okay, so as this ripple happens for Elon, seems very little happened for you. You're just kind of sitting in a cave looking at some weapons, and you see the rest of your party become severely affected by something. You're not completely sure what, because you haven't been brought in tune with anything going on. Beside you, maybe just shaking off a quick headache, Odd seems to be mostly pulled together, but falling to the ground, we see Karis over by the watering hole, and shaking back and forth, you will see Kendell.
full body tremors.
Yeah, so I am sick, and I'm going to take full advantage of that in our story, and have my character have a rough time. So sorry to Karis, but this seems convenient. But yeah, let's do it.
Right.
What would you like
On the
to do?
ground.
So Kendall is not looking too good. I feel like I don't want to disturb them too quickly. Just kind of take a look at side eye a little bit and not make any sudden movements or any particular strange facial expressions. Just normal observation. And as I'm looking around at the things in our immediate vicinity, I'll kind of make my way over there and plop myself down next to Kendall and not really say anything, just pull out my crossbow and start suddenly have whittling tools in my hand and start carving something into the side of it, just messing around with it and just make small talk as I do, as Elin likes to do, and look at Kendall and, hey, you think a leaf or maybe like a swirl, like a pretty swirl? What do you think? What should I put in the shaft here? And I'm gonna gauge how Kendall reacts to the question.
He doesn't
With
react.
an insight check.
Sure. Go right ahead.
We'll back it.
I'm just going to keep
It's
groaning in the
11.
background.
So if you, I think you said to go ahead. I'll insight check it and just to see what I get. I get like a 15.
Okay. What do you think?
What do I see, Kendall, with that 15?
I think that
you would see that his eyes were, when you started talking, very unfocused. It's not that he's looking off into the distance, it's that he is not looking at anything. And you would see, as you're talking, his fingers start to flex a little bit, sort of like you would see when like your hand falls asleep or something to that effect. Like the way you would flex your muscles when they've fallen asleep and they feel all pins and needles. You start to see like a little bit of that. And when you say swirl in particular, his eyes still aren't focused, but his mouth opens and he, with your 15, you can hear him just barely say swirling wheel.
What was that? What'd you say? I think I misunderstood you. Are you talking about wheels?
And as you know, you keep talking to him. The tremors are starting to gradually subside. And his eyes are becoming slightly more focused. He clears his throat, and when he does, his voice comes out at a much more audible volume. Viasferal.
You've been dreaming about that lately or something? You're just thinking about it?
Hey,
I don't think I dream about wheels.
Why did you say a swirl?
I like swirls. They look pretty in the wood. Yeah, I just like carve it right here. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And as I'm talking to Kendall, I am also just kind of every now and then glancing over it to Audie and side-eyeing over at Bubbles, seeing what's going on around me as I'm obviously not talking Kendall back into the reality plane. Not at all.
While this is happening, Audie's going to go over and check on Karis. Are you fully passed out, or did you just collapse?
I am not passed out. I am on the ground. I will make faces and noises now. You ready?
Ready.
Oh my god. What? hell just happened? Oh my god.
Karis, are you okay?
Do I look okay? Oh god.
Do you want some water?
I
Odd
don't
is
know if I can-
unaccustomed to comforting other people at this point, but he's going to do his best.
Got two vastly different ways of comforting two very uncomfortable people here.
I don't.
I think I have some Komodo dragon meat that I could
Oh god,
could
no! I
prepare
don't wanna
for
think
you.
about eating right now.
Yes, that will definitely settle the stomach.
Audie just pulls a jerky out of their back pocket, the equivalent of sharing a
Please.
little Jimmy. You know, it's a Slim moment.
Please
No,
push
it's
away.
just soggy Komodo dragon meat.
No,
they
that's
haven't
not
time
it.
to try
That's
it.
not it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dear. Audie's
No,
over
he's-
here like, you want a bite of my beef stick?
Yeah, Odd's trying whatever he can at this point. He's like, "Do you want me to read you a passage
Let
from
me.
that
please
helps
stop.
people sleep
Oh
sometimes?"
god, please. Am I the only one in incredible pain right now?
Not in pain, but I did definitely feel something weird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, you could call it that to start. Oh my god. Okay, let me try the water.
There's a swirl over here, and then you just connect it to the swirl over there. And
Ah.
you see, it's just like a nice little design.
Kendred's eyes become more and more focused as he watches what you're pointing out to him, and in a much more like himself kind of voice, a much more stable voice, he goes, "What is happening right now? What's going on?"
And
Hey, looking over to our friend over there drinking water. Well, I suspect that Bubbles over there might be about to regurgitate whatever they just put in their mouth.
Please don't bring
Yeah.
that up. It's only going to make it worse.
so
Oh,
We
they
did
heard me.
all consume a lot of seawater. This could be a delayed reaction, maybe some kind of mass
No.
hypnosis that we all
No, it is not.
experienced together.
It is not. There
You
is
sound very
something going
sure.
very wrong. No, there is something happening,
Yeah, I
And-
can tell. I can tell. Oh, thanks.
and it is
Sure. Sure.
Because-
I personally hold my breath when I go under the water, so maybe I just didn't inhale as much salt water as you. Sounds like you're all a little bit seasick, maybe.
You didn't feel
no.
anything.
It's not seasickness. Karis,
Mm.
I do not know where your talents lie outside of dexterous movement. Do you have any familial or personal inclinations towards magic or the gods or nature? Or
Okay. Crap. Okay. Look, my family doesn't really do a lot of magical stuff. I don't do any magical stuff or whatever, but my dad, not my father, but my dad, was a ladrin, and so my father would always tell me stories about what he would say back when he was around, and all the stories that he would tell about sorry about
It's gonna come back at. It's gonna come back at. I can feel it. I can
It's
feel
all
it
right.
inside
please
myself.
stop bringing it up.
Let me
There
get the
is no
rock.
I can
need
see it
continue.
coming from your mouth, and it's making me sick. All right, I can
It'll
feel
help
it.
you.
I
And
can't.
it just
Odd-
put this
Odd.
under your nose. And he just shoves the rotten meat under your nose.
Get that out of there.
Please, Odd, that is not helpful.
Odd, that
I
is
know
not
you are
a stick
only
under
meaning-
somebody's nose.
I know you are only meaning the best. I know
It
you are
seems
only
like
meaning
you
the
need to Grow
best.
up.
I think I'm gonna be sympathy sick.
as
Not
this-
even that
Odd,
nauseous,
what
most
did
just
come
in
over
pain.
here?
as this happens, you hear two voices echoing down the hallway, kind of as these drips and drabs, and you look around, and down the hallway that sort of extends forward from the room that you're in. You hear a set of voices. You say, and they'll say, Twoople, you go talk to him. No. And then the other one will say, No. Ruple, you go talk to him. You saw what they did to Booka. And that's the first thing that you're hearing now. What do you do?
Oi, sick 1, sick 2, and Audie 3. Listen. Go on now.
I hear it.
Sorry about Booka.
Where are you Odd?
Well, it just seems like they're gonna come over here anyway. We might as well just talk to
Shut-
them now.
Ceprunx wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Can we come out?
Come around the corner.
We're making friends now.
That would not be something comfortable for us. We do not know you. We do not know if you will attack us when we come around the corner.
All right.
Maybe instead we both walk towards each other.
Good idea.
Right.
Smart, Kendell.
I got crossbows locked and loaded. I have no idea. Or am I back to shoot?
Odd's just gonna put his hands up. He's like, I'm coming around.
If we are dealing with
inch
people
around the
who want
corner.
to speak, Aelin, if we are dealing with people who want to speak, we will put down the crossbows, but keep them at the ready if needed.
No,
and
Odd
so
looks over his shoulder and he's like, keep the crossbows up. Keep the crossbows up.
As you hear that kind of offer that to walk towards each other, they'll say, well, there's 2 of us and 4 of you, so no.
Well, what if 2 walked forward to you and you walked forward to us and the other 2 watched?
Oh wow.
And then you'll hear the other voice say, why did you tell them that there's only 2 of us? What's wrong with you? And then they'll say, and then they'll say, I don't know. It sounds like maybe Ceprunx would be happy with us. And then you'll see these two of the mergoblins start to walk down the hall towards you.
Kendrick is going to point
Kendell.
to.
Kendell.
God, I got screwed up. Kendall is going to point to Odd and just silently point to Odd and start walking, matching the goblin's pace, and not going any slower or any faster.
That's following.
Oh wow. I'm just gonna watch. Let's just see what happens, Bubbles. Let's just let them talk.
Yeah, sure. Bubbles sits up a little bit and seems to be doing a bit better. The pain is fading, but I feel so sore and weird everywhere. Okay, all right. What's happening over there?
All right. Well, here's the short and low of it. There's 2 little creatures over there. They seem to be not of great intelligence. They just told us there's only 2 of them. They seem to want us to go talk to somebody that might be their like a boss or something. But Audie likes to chit chat. So the 2 of them, Kendall and Audie, are going to go do it. I don't know, a negotiation. I'm not sure. I'm going to sit back and watch and see what happens and make sure that you're not about to actually bubble up with anything. The nicknames aren't supposed to be that on point, but so feel free to relax there, and let's just see if there's fireworks or something.
Enough talking.
Please don't leave me with him, with her.
Kendall and Odd, I believe, are actually coming forward, matching their pace. So.
Okay, so they're moved forward on the map here.
Just
we're back to the map, man. I've been so out of the map for a while. Oh, I gotta get back in map mode now.
Map mode.
Yeah, move forward.
All right, let's do this. Where's Odd?
This is Odd. Which hallway are they coming from?
They're coming from this one.
Yeah,
The one over here.
right here. They're here.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, here we go. We're coming.
Okay, and
All
so as you come, you will they will say, and you see these kind of they look very similar to the other two. One's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit smaller, and they both have their weapons drawn, and they will say, "Great, Ceprunx wants to talk to you," and they will say, "Come with us." And they'll start walking you down the hall here.
Oh, what was the name they were saying?
Molly, what
I
was
did not
the name
catch it.
they were saying?
Elin in the background is not judging at all. Maybe
It
caught the
sounded
name.
almost like serpent.
Oh, my sign language isn't great.
Ceprunx. Ceprunx. Ceprunx.
C-E-U-R.
Prunx. Ceprunx.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely something I wasn't going to pick up.
I'm elbowing Bubbles over here. Like, they didn't even catch the name.
You think I
And
did?
That
so
was
are
good.
you gonna walk?
How
are you walking
far?
with
I'm gonna ask some
How could
questions.
you not?
Honestly,
Okay,
I've
ask
got
some questions.
How far are you taking us, friends?
Oh, a distance.
I don't know. That's why.
A distance. It's a number of steps.
Well, we have our friends here. Maybe you could bring Ceprunx with you here, or we could all go.
Ceprunx doesn't leave. No. They want
He
to speak to
doesn't
you.
leave. Why doesn't he leave?
I don't make the rules. Ceprunx makes the rules. The other one, Ruple and Twoople will kind of chime in. We don't make the rules. Ceprunx makes the rules.
Oh,
Ceprunx is the boss.
I'm gonna look over to Kendell.
Well,
I don't think we should go alone.
I also agree that I do not feel comfortable going that far from my friends by myself. Perhaps I would feel comfortable if one of you stayed with my friends and we too went with the one that's going to Ceprunx. That way, you have us and they have you, and there is guarantee everyone come back safe.
Or
I think I can
odd.
probably.
Odd.
I think I
Go
can
ahead.
probably walk. It won't be fast, but if someone helps me, I think I should be okay.
Yeah. How about this? The situation, my friends, the situation we're in now seems pretty agreeable to you, right? The two of us here, the two of them there, the two of you where you are.
Ceprunx says they want to talk to you.
Okay, well, we'll just keep this configuration. They'll stay approximately how far back they are now. It's like no one's even moving, and we'll all go together. That sounds reasonable, right?
This is reasonable.
Make a deception check.
Okay.
Can I give her the help action since Kendell is vocally agreeing?
Yes.
Roll with advantage then.
Thank you. I will take that. For deception, oh, that's not bad. All right. Dirty 20.
Okay. And they say, yeah, that's fine. And
Cool.
they'll motion you forward. So they will walk around the corner here.
Elin, can you give me a
what's
hand?
up? Are you sure?
What is going
good?
on with this marker? Who did
I
this
don't
to
know.
me?
I don't know. It might have been me. I'm so sorry.
It was likely me. I was trying to figure out how far away they were, and I used the ruler to make to try to measure it, and then I thought I thought it went away when I changed over to the person token, but it just left it left a circle, a full circle.
A full circle, which is what you were going, which is what the word that you cut off
Yeah.
It was
All
full.
circle.
Full.
No, why would it have
FULL.
been anything else?
Yes, I always like to tell people to full off.
Are
Full
you
off the map.
sure you're good to get up? You want to get up at this moment?
No and yes.
That is a valid answer. Yeah, it's very balanced. I like it. Hopefully your stomach feels balanced once I lift you. Here we go. I'm gonna count to 3, and on the 3, not like the 1, 2, 3 lift, like the 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna lift. Are you ready? Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, you're quite good actually. You got a whole lot of muscle that weighs like nothing, don't you?
What?
Yeah.
I'm not light. You must be strong.
Wait, I mean, like I was expecting you to like weigh like the equivalent of like 6 wrestlers because you're pretty dang strong.
Okay, I should weigh the
Not
equivalent.
that I like know what it feels like to be piled up under like 6 wrestlers. I mean, I kind of do, but there was a whole thing, and it's a story. I'll tell you about it sometime.
Okay.
Right.
All right,
so
let's go.
They're saying, "Come on, let's go," as they're kind of staying an eye shot, but coming around here.
Should we do this stealthily? You think we should be quiet about it?
I already know we're here. How useful do you think that's going to be?
I mean, they're not watching us either, are they? I'm just saying they know we're here, but they don't see where we're walking. You and I could probably do
Sure.
this stealthily and just make it a little bit interesting if you like.
And so, are you walking like in step with the goblins?
Yes, but I
Okay.
can't move my token past this
Uh-oh.
area
Oh,
right here. It keeps telling me there was a wall.
yeah,
there
you
we
have
go.
to be real slick about it.
There we go. We
Okay.
got there.
So, right as you, whoops, I appear to have stacked you.
Neelan, we need to move our characters forward so we can see.
I'm doing it stealthily. I rolled a 22 on stealth.
The folks at
FYI.
home cannot see unless I can see.
So,
I'm letting you know.
as you round the corner, you hear a voice say, good job! And a javelin will fly out at poor Kendall.
Sorry, Kendall.
Did he say look out? Is that what he said?
No, good job. You
Oh.
you hear another voice say good job, and then you see a javelin fly out at you.
Trickery.
And
Hey, Ceprunx.
yeah, and so that'll miss, and it buries itself in the wall beside you. Roll for initiative.
I rolled stealth as well.
Okay.
I gave myself 1 level of exhaustion for being like feeling like shit. So I had
Okay.
disadvantage on that.
Molly,
and I got
may-
14 is my result.
What's up, Gorge?
14 and 22. All right.
Molly, may I cast Prestidigitation as a reaction to getting a javelin thrown at me?
Sure.
Or should I wait till my turn in the order?
Sure. What do you do with prestidigitation?
I'm gonna do that harmless instantaneous sensory effect. And
Okay.
as the javelin passes by me, going to lift my hand and act as if I've pushed it away, with just a glowing trail behind my hand.
Okay. Let me see here. Make some wisdom checks on that one.
I'm making wisdom checks.
No. Okay. Okay. All right.
Are
And
these smart goblins?
No, not particularly. They're goblins. So, Avon, what is your initiative?
18. I've got a 22 on stealth.
Okay. Karis, what is your initiative?
Nat 20, 26 total.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Kendall.
18.
And new actor 13.
7.
Wicked. All right, cool. So top of the order is Karis.
Before the order as well, I have a reaction, which is dancer feature, break a leg, so I can give one of my allies advantage on their first like attack or ability roll on their first turn. So I'll give that to Elin because we're standing next to each other.
What does that look like?
In this case, I say, "Oh God, did this really have to happen now? We couldn't have waited. Okay, here, I'll stand on my own. You can go and fight."
All right. You need me to cover you?
Yeah, please. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, beginning of your turn.
Can I just delay my turn to go later permanently?
Sure. Where do you want to go?
I have to decide now.
Nope, that's fine. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, 'cause then I could
you
just
do
go
have to
later
decide
again.
now.
Sure. I'll just go after Kendell.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
That's my turn for now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. You see, Karis just kind of like trying to steady herself on her feet, leaning up against the wall, and just like preparing while everything else is happening.
I take up a frontal position to wherever Kara sets herself.
So, the next one will be whenever a creature the goblin can target it. Okay, cool. Ding, ding, ding. All right, cool. So you're going to see another light spear fly out at you, Kendell. This will be a 14 plus, don't think anything. Proficiency, 16. Does 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Does
if it was
hit.
14 plus nothing, it wouldn't have hit.
All right, so it is a, that'll be 3 damage as this kind of grazes by your shoulder and opens up a wound.
And
Next,
just to clarify, we have not healed since the last time we took damage.
yes, you have.
We have?
You,
Okay.
No,
We've
not.
healing,
We used a healing potion on you.
but we haven't like fully healed. Is I think what she was asking.
Yeah,
I think that is true.
Exactly. We've
What
only
is
done if
accurate?
anybody used a hit dice and if anybody's used any healing potions. So right now, if you didn't do either, you're probably still a little bit effed up.
Yep.
All you
Just
mean?
wanted to-
All right, Kendell or Aelon, you're up.
All right, shooty.
Who are
As
you
I
shooting
do.
at?
And looking at who the one that's kind of up to, it's closer to us.
Okay.
Definitely in distance. Actually, I'll shoot the further one because I can.
The
Shoot
one
the
that's
further.
in which one?
I see 2 goblins,
Okay.
and one's lower on the screen, but it's further away.
Cool. So neither of those goblins are throwing the javelins. It seems to be coming from further in. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll shoot in that direction then. And the one that gets tagged is the one that's furthest if I hit. And then maybe it will shout out loud that it's very upset I did that because it's not doing anything wrong. Right?
Oh.
You know, like what's going on?
Okay. Shoot your shot.
Shooting my shot. Active ability.
I don't know if me giving you advantage actually did anything because if your stealth was
Okay.
high enough, you should just have advantage from that.
I'm not sure. Whichever you want me to have advantage from, I'm pretty sure I get an advantage at least. I think I get it on both shots. So the 2 hand crossbows. I'll just do 2 attacks there with advantage, and
So
those pass.
The 26 will definitely hit.
Right.
And so will the 25. As you as you hear a kind of a squeak from behind this rock formation.
I am going to look over behind me at the friend that's behind me and say, "Don't worry, I've got you." Pull out both, spin them a little bit, and then boom, boom, because they're guns made of crossbows, and you just didn't know that.
Crossbow guns.
Okay.
They're bow guns.
And
I'm doing it impressively. I'm trying to make it look really glamorous for you because you're not feeling well, and I'm trying to make you a little bit smiley. Look at that. I made both shots for you.
So next up is
really
Kendell.
quick. I think that
What?
I think that you can like roll like you can stay like you come out of stealth when you attack, right? And then you have to like
Yeah.
roll again, but you should be able to do that as a bonus action, right? If you want to try to no, it's not.
Rogue
'Cause I guess
Only if
feature.
Molly
hide
wants me
action.
to
For
do.
rogues.
Rogue
yeah.
feature.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm good where I'm at.
Next up
They
is
now
Fighter.
see where the shots came from.
Next up was Kendall.
Kendall is not doing too well, and so not wanting to immediately see his god again, he's going to take some steps back and be behind Aelin, and then he's going to touch Aelin's shoulder and
Little
say,
go back there.
and say, "Make Hendrik guide you, so you may see where they are." And cast guidance.
Awesome.
A little bit
you,
What does that
tickly.
do?
you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to an ability check of your choice. You can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
Add it to the ability check.
It's not an attack roll,
Right.
it's an ability check, but since you are having trouble seeing the fella who's attacking you, figured that'd help.
I look over my other shoulder and flash a charming side smile. Kendall, are you necromancing me in the middle of a battle?
Well, if that is what you want to read into it, then yes. If that makes you aim better, then yes.
I am an avid reader.
Karis.
Avid reader.
So you see Karis pick herself up. And start kind of swirling. Oh, this is going to give me so much vertigo. And she just kind of does like pirouette while also kind of like moving across the floor, doing electric slide again. Just going to go out here in front of everybody and then back to where I was. And or I guess I'm going to like, yeah, but through this tile and then this tile and this tile so that it's not actually underneath my allies, and then back.
Okay, so you're gonna put an electric wall in front of Scarlet.
Yes.
Okay.
And then go back to where I was and like continue to be hiding. I guess I'm probably not in stealth anymore, but I'm taking cover in any case. I'll hide over here.
All right, so this happens. You dance forward. You lay out this kind of 5-foot square of electrical energy to protect your allies. Next up are the two goblins, and you'll hear one. You'll hear one yell back, "Ceprunx, are you okay?" And you'll hear this kind of a gasping breath say, "Yeah, I'm great. Go get him." And one of the goblins will run forward into the lightning, brandishing its thing. All right, con save.
Brandishing its thing, do you say?
Brandishing its scimitar.
Mhm.
That'll be a 13 or 14.
A 14. Okay, the DC is 14.
So meet it, beat it. So yeah. So it saves.
Saves.
That's one
Anything happen?
lucky gerblin.
Nothing happens.
All right, cool. And then they're gonna swing out with their scimitar dagger for a 13. Does that hit you?
Sure does.
All right. So you see them going and poke, and they will do a whopping 2 damage.
Cool.
Next up is the other one, and the other goblin will slide over and will, seeing Elon, will take a shot with his short bow. Ooh, a nat 20. That's bad.
Rude.
Oh no.
All right. 2d6 with no modifier. All right, so that'll be a 9 damage.
I'm down then.
Okay. And so you say, Shoot it, Ceprunx. See what happens. You get the Ruple. And
For you
Elon
kids
goes
watching
down.
at home, whenever you think there's a moment to use your hit die, you probably should do that.
Mhm.
I didn't. I definitely didn't.
Well, maybe I can do something about that later.
Then next up
Hit me.
is
Hit me good.
Odd.
Okay. Well, I guess this probably happened when we rolled initiative, but seeing that Kendell is sort of trying to trick them or intimidate them a little bit, Otta's going to go ahead and lean into that. So as soon as initiative is rolled, I'm going to activate my shroud ability and allow it to be visible to all the goblins. So just like an inky cloud of black smoke, just like emerges from underneath, kind of like in a sweeping gesture that comes up and around like a fancy mushroom cloud. And he is like, "You have angered the gods," in his most intimidating, nerdy
Missing it.
scholar
Okay.
voice.
Make an intimidation check.
I'm missing all of this, like,
Oh,
OD
yeah.
level up. My mental image will still remain the same.
Okay.
Beef
For-
jerky and nerdy.
Okay, that's going to be a 21.
All right, cool. So they definitely, you see
They
them
got
kind
it.
of like, and they're clearly scared of you.
Great.
And
Okay.
the goblin that's next to you will use its reaction to run away.
Great. Love it. And then I am just gonna shoot.
Would you like to attack
Oh
of
yeah, attack of
opportunity yet?
opportunity. I'd love
Okay.
to do that. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Do I still have to roll to hit for an attack of opportunity?
You better, because my build's based around that.
So yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do have disadvantage now because I have my shroud up though. So does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit.
Okay.
And so
after...
as it slips away, the knife comes out, and you go to stab it, and you sort of lose them in your own smog.
After that, though, I am going to eliminate the smog so that I don't have to continue rolling disadvantage, and I will roll my regular attack normally, and it's dirty 20. Which a crossbow to the far goblin is what I'm going to go for. Or we'll just go for the one that ran away. The one that ran away.
All right. Shoot your shot.
Do you do you want to give like flavorful like advantage because it's running away and after succeeding on that action, or?
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that.
I'm just asking Molly.
I'm here for it. Okay, so
Just
that's
for
going to be
fun.
3 damage.
It was what?
3 damage.
That was on a nat 20. You got 3 damage.
What? I didn't get a nat 20.
Oh, okay. I thought
I'm
you
sorry.
said
No,
you-
I got a
It
dirty
was a
20.
dirty 20.
Dirty
Dirty.
20. Okay, for 3 damage. All right, cool. And so this will happen in this goblin as it's running away, and you shoot it in the back, and it stumbles forward, and it falls prone. But it is clearly it's bloodied. Top of the order is the hidden javelin thrower. Seeing you stab out at its friend, another javelin. I wouldn't have any more javelins. 2 is enough. All right, it will scoot out and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll see this goblin come up, and it'll say, "Get them! Get them! Get them now! Get them now! Get them now!" And that'll be the end of. He's kind of using his voice to bark out at it, and you see the other 2 goblins kind of steal their reserve, and old their English, and for loco. I don't know how to make a joke around that one. And go and sort of turn back around at y'all. Top of the order, Elon. Death saving throw for me.
Death save roll. I don't know how to do it on here. I can do it via this, however you'd like me to do it for.
Okay,
you roll
I'm marking.
it, whichever you
I'll
want to
roll
do.
it. Yep. So
Okay.
your
We've
first
been
one is in
physically
the books.
rolling everything, haven't we?
Pause. I would like to ask that as a out of character for filming purposes. When we do death rolls, do you want it to be Molly rolls the death rolls? Do you want it to be we roll the death rolls physically, or do you want it to be on digital the dice roller? What do you want? How do you want us to handle death rolls in this game going forward?
Do we want to? Let's just vote it. Do you want me to keep death roll secret?
No.
I've never played it
It's
that
more
way.
dramatic if it's
I have no
public.
idea. I've never played it that way, so
I think finding out whether or not they're close to death is sort of like nail biter, and I like that. Like I really love those moments where they've gotten 2 failed death saves, and then the third one is not a failure, and you're like, oh man, we still have a chance.
All right, cool. So I will.
I would
roll it.
imagine high medicine characters also could see that.
I will roll it then.
Okay.
So yeah. So and I will announce it.
The
So
rest of the campaign, we'll expect Molly to roll the death rolls. Sounds
Cool.
right?
Sounds
And
good.
I will announce.
And then you will tell us if they are a fail or a success.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Game on.
Wait. Okay. Molly, I just wanted to tell you
Pause.
that I sent you an updated icon. So maybe during break you could update it if that's okay. If not, we'll just have it next time.
I did update it. I'm gonna have to restart Foundry for it to take hold.
Okay, next time is fine then. Okay,
Yeah.
we can go back.
Game on.
All right, and so Elon fails their first death save with a nat 2. Next up is Kendell.
So Kendall pulled out his necklace with his charm of Kendrit on it, and appeared to be holding it in one hand, and was, as his hand glowed with magical energy, he was going for himself, and then he saw that Aelin went down, and so instead, as he brought it to himself, he immediately pushed it outwards and said, I don't think it's your time. You must continue to turn, and casts Healing Word. And that is a max heal. Take 6.
Nice.
Cool. And so this swirling, you feel the sand moving through your hand as this happens. As you're grabbing it, your necklace quickly turns to sand, then you feel it again, and it's not sand anymore. And you feel that it kind of spin in your hand as you're there. And you come back up. You still have an action in your movement. What would you like to do?
My eyes shoot open and I sit straight up. Somehow I actually still have a crossbow in my hand, magically. I was taking a nap. Yeah, bad timing. Yeah, what's going on? Where are we? Somebody point me in a direction.
You look down and you have an arrow in your side. So Kendall, you still have your action in your movement. What would you like to do?
Do I still have my action? Oh, that was a
Healing
bonus
Word is-
action. That is
yeah.
correct. So as the action, seeing that Aelin has gotten up, he is going to take the hand that was just on the spinning sand, but not sand, charm of Kendrit, and bring his hands outwards to basically go in the direction of Odd and Aelin and Karis, and basically he's going to say, may Kendrit bless us. May Kendrit bless us so that our wheels may continue to turn in this life. And going to cast Bless.
2 leveled spells in the same turn.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Sometimes it's you can't do 2 leveled spells.
No, if you cast a leveled spell as a bonus action, you cannot cast a leveled spell.
So instead then, because I forgot that rule, he's going to do a different thing that I totally had prepared. He's going to point. So Aelin's come up, and he's going to point at the nearest goblin.
Get it out! Get it out!
And he's going to say, "May your wheels stop." and cast Chill Touch as a ghostly skeletal hand appears in the same space as that goblin and goes to grab him.
All right.
So that is an attack roll.
It's all about the wheels again. Really get the
wait,
wheels.
one thing really quick. The goblin that is closest to us is prone. So if you're attacking it from range, you'll get disadvantage unless you attack a different goblin.
Oh, is he prone?
Yes.
Then the closest goblin that isn't prone.
Okay.
That was a natural 17
Hits.
plus. Oh, okay. So 1d8. That was the d8. Nope, that wasn't the d8. I made a mistake because d8s don't roll to 9.
Only if you get
You're
really
like,
lucky.
Something's real special over there. Kendrick be helping you out real good.
So that's a 4 necrotic damage, and it cannot regain hit points until the start of the next turn.
And that's one of your necromancy cantrips, right? So that cleaves.
Yes. So cleaves?
Right?
Does
Pretty
it?
sure that's Death Cleric.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does.
Okay. So you will see one of the goblins, the goblin that you were focusing on, you'll feel this necrotic hand will come up and will kind of drag its claws down the goblin's flesh, and it's kind of the legs that will be kind of peeled raw. And the other, another hand will come up, and this one that has been lobbing javelins at it, it will just drag it down into the sand beneath it, and it will disappear, and it dies. Next up is Karis.
That is a very neat feature. I just was looking it up too because I was curious.
I completely forgot about it until Molly brought it up, and that is a thing, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Elin got healed. Isabel, did you spend your hit die last time?
Did not.
Yeah,
Kendall's
no, you
not
did.
doing good.
You did on Give Life. You cast Give
did
Life
give
at some
life?
point. I think so.
I think you did give
No.
life. I think you maybe gave me life.
If I did give life, that means that I am at 0 hit dice because I would have spent and rolled my hit dice to give somebody else life.
Yes. Okay. Well, Elin's still pretty hurt, so I could heal Elin. Let's see. Okay. Who needs the most help? Kendell or Elin? Raise your hand.
Kendall points to himself.
Okay, so I'm gonna get out my healing potion and give it to Kendall and administer it.
Okay. You have a bonus action in your movement left.
I'm okay where I am. I think I'm okay where I am. I'll just kind of ide behind my friends. Maybe not behind, maybe in front of them actually.
Putting Odd as tank in a big spot. Love that.
Well, all right. I moved forward to protect the two people who are hurt. So should I roll the healing potion, or should Kendall roll it?
Kendall can roll it. That's fine. 2d4 plus 2.
I was about to ask if it was 2d4 plus 2.
Yep. All right. Cool. And so nothing else. All right. So the two goblins, the one on the ground, will stand up and say, and we'll kind of snap the arrow, the bolt out of its back, and we'll turn and say, "Two can play this game," and both of them will shoot out at you with their short bows.
Me?
Nope, at Odd, because Odd is the one who shot him. One will hit, the other will miss. Let's see what we got here. It's a net 1, so 1 damage. As this kind of nicks the inner side of your leg, as this blunt arrow gets through the leather armor, but just kind of gives you like a nice. You're gonna feel it when you shave.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, no, Odd probably doesn't shave. Too many mishaps with the razor.
Also,
Oh,
did you say it
Jesus.
nicked my thigh?
It nicked your thigh.
I like. Odd likes to have those smooth thighs.
I have this mental image of Odd getting like a special formulation that is essentially Nair, so that no shaving accidents need to happen.
You don't
Absolutely,
have,
yes.
You don't
Lots
think
of
you could have
lots of
accidents
chemical
with
burns.
Nair? Not necessarily
So,
better.
Odd, you're up. So
Okay.
these two just shot at you.
Alrighty. Well, okay.
You can remove the electric slide, by the way.
I was wondering about that. I'm like, can I pass through this? I don't think I'm.
Yes, you can.
That's fine.
Right now, I'm just gonna. Neither of them's prone, correct? And the one closest
Neither of
to
them
me
is prone. Yep.
is the one I've been in a shootout with.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot him. And that is gonna be 13 to hit.
You hit.
Oh, great. 3 damage.
All right, cool. And so this the goblin that identified themselves as Twoople will fall over, and you'll hear the other goblin say, all right, I give up, and they sit down there, they throw down their bow, and they pull out their scimitar and they'll throw it down, and they'll say, I give up, don't kill me, please, please take this hand off of me. And they kind of, they're like kneeling, and the hand is like grabbing onto their leg to about pull them down. And like, please take the hand off me, please. And we will exit initiative there. Let's go ahead and take a break there. Let's do our quick bathroom break. And so this goblin falls before you, kind of kneeling and begging for its life, having thrown down its weapons. What would you like to do?
Collapse to sit on the ground again because I'm really fucking tired.
I will nearly do it simultaneously at this point and just collapse at the same time, almost like I planned it, but not really. Just at the same time.
Kendell is going to hold out his hand, mimicking whatever the necrotic hand is doing, and is going to look at Odd as if you're the leader, because maybe you are. And go, well, what do you think? What does your god say, Odd?
Odd is mad. He doesn't like being misled in this way. So I feel like this is the third goblin. This is the javelin throwing goblin that survived.
No, the javelin throwing goblin went into the sand.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
He got you down. I think this is Twoople. I think Ruple was the one that you shot in the back and killed.
No. Twoople died.
Twoople died, so this is Ruple.
This is Ruple. I'm sure of it.
Okay. So Odd is going to allow, I don't know. I think as a way to activate and deactivate his shroud outside of combat, he likes to think of obscure animal facts. So he's going to go ahead and try and recall the particular call of one of the swallows that lived in the trees outside of his estate. I rolled a 10. Plus what? Animal handling? Does it matter?
Nature.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, 12.
All right. So you're attempting to reproduce this call?
Nope, I'm just attempting to recall it. This is how Odd activates and deactivates his shroud. He has to use an ability. So that's what I'm going for.
You are able to accurately remember the sound of a swallow.
Excellent.
You're not sure.
So he takes a second, he takes a deep breath, he recalls the sound of a swallow, and then channeling the sound of a swallow, he just allows this inky black cloud to emerge from his person once again and be visible and large and scary to this goblin. And then he's going to walk forward with this sort of inky, misty, ethereal cloak around him, and he's going to say, "Where is Ceprunx?"
And Ruple will look
Ruple.
right beside him at the pile of loose dirt and water that used to be where his friend was standing,
Mhm.
and will go, and will point.
And what was it that Ceprunx wanted with us?
To kill you.
Why?
Why?
You killed Booker.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why do you have all of these fragments of storm giant weapons in your caves?
They started washing up just before you did.
Did anything else wash up?
Yeah.
Where is it? Take us now.
And they will.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Ruple will walk you over past a kind of a campfire. There's some corpses of other less lucky humans kind of lying over here, but no elves, nothing identifiable as an elf of the Ethereal Isle. And then I'll show you kind of behind these rocks over here. There'll be a number of crates. Everything is there. Please don't kill me.
I'm sitting at the fire.
And they'll point you in the direction of the crates behind the rocks.
I'm mostly trying to pull an arrow out of my side.
Kendall's just holding that hand in the same position as the necrotic hand, as if he's controlling it. He's not, but he's.
So.
Oh, you were muted, Scarlet.
Sorry, the effect is working.
So,
how many pet dragons did you have? Or pet lizards? How many pets did you?
Oh,
like
we had two.
What was the other one called? That's not Booker.
Blanc.
Blanc is okay. When we leave, you can probably go and hang out with Blanc some more. All right, it's gonna be okay.
I left him some meat. Okay.
Oh wait, the other lizard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's talking about goblins,
the lizard.
y'all.
I thought, okay. So yeah, the other lizard, they don't have a name for the lizard.
Oh, but I thought Booker was a lizard.
You left me a lizard? No, Booker is the...
Booker was the goblin.
The goblin.
Oh, well, that's great. Then they can just be surprised that I'm dumb.
You know what? It's a highly charged moment, and you don't know what the goblins are about.
Yeah, my character is going to make the same mistake I make.
I'm going to take a peek at these crates. Do any of them seem like they're booby-trapped or anything with my very limited knowledge of such things?
You don't think they were barely able to pull off an ambush. You don't think that that they're capable of that. Most of the crates are open. Some of them have like rotting fish in them. You can see evidence that Twoople, the deceased, had a bag of fish that they carried around on their side, and they it seems as though you see like a target on one of the walls, and it seems like they had been trying to practice like throwing fish martial art, but they died before they got to perfect it.
That's tough. I'm looking for my book, man. Where Fran just tearing these crates apart. Single-minded.
While
find my book.
So you will find it in one of on the top of one of the crates as you're going through. It'll be right amongst some of the detritus, and you'll also find a vial of liquid that you recognize, that if you were to kind of poke around at it, you'd recognize as alchemical, but it's unclear what effect it would have. It's not a healing potion.
Okay.
As
What's up, Kendell?
Odd is tearing through boxes, Kendall's going to go up to this goblin, Ruple, and ask, with his hand still in that same position, because he's not giving up this thing.
For effect,
and-
I'll lean over and look at Kendall and be like, hold him there.
And Kendall's going to ask, where are we?
You're south of the withering archipelago.
South of the Withering Archipelago. Understood. Well, if you want to see another sunrise, then you will tell us everything you know about why there are so many shipwrecks here, about survivors, about that goose, everything.
About the goose.
And thank you for asking about the goose. I think the audience is very concerned. Oh, you mean the feathered lizard, the feathered attack lizard? Yeah, we found that one day there were a bunch of attack lizards in the sky, and Ceprunx was able to get one down, and we thought we could train it to protect us. And he'll kind of stutter over that. The shipwrecks. The things have only started washing up recently. We used to just eat fish and the occasional pirate.
What has changed recently, around the same time?
And they will go in and they'll talk about that there's been like way more flotsam and jetsam in the water in the area. Flotsam, not jetsam. There's been a lot more flotsam, and they have been finding like different magical items and stuff, and the size of items is much bigger than maybe like the average pirate shipwreck that would have happened before.
I was gonna nod, and look to Aelin. Do you have further questions?
I've still got there's a thing in my side here, and I've kind of just not been like I would really like to get it out of my side. It's still there, staring at me.
Yes, Phil.
Yeah.
Can someone dress it?
Is this a?
I'm
gonna turn to the goblin one more time.
I'm in it. It's in me. I'm definitely dressed up with it in.
One more time. Is there anyone else who lives in this cave system?
There was and they'll go through and they'll say Booka, Blanc, Getta, who were all up front, who you all killed, and then there's Ruple, Twoople, and Ceprunx, and he'll go through and he'll say and the lizards and the feathered attack lizard, but otherwise no, it's just been us.
Very well. Odd, I do not think there is a point to ending this fun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna kind of like huddle us all up, or maybe we'll go back over to where Elon is, since Elon isn't quite ready to make the journey yet, and be like, I feel kind of bad.
Have we all forgotten military protocol here? Nobody's gonna help me dress the wound.
As
We are trying to make sure.
As I'm ripping fabric.
What about
There
you
is-
goblins there? Yeah, you know
there
how
is-
to, yeah?
We are trying to determine if this is a safe place to rest, because if I am going to do something about your wound, I will need to rest immediately after.
I'm putting pressure on it at least for you. Now that we've come back and I see it seeping.
Yeah.
I mean, we
If
we rest-
101, we know how to build a shelter and how to hunker down. Somebody get this thing out of my side! I swear, goblin friends, you do anything.
Do not take it.
We don't sleep. We don't sleep. I will kill you. I will shoot you with my crossbows. Test me, Buka. Test me, Ceprunx. Don't. No.
None of those
So-
people are
Sleep
still
time,
alive.
sleepy time.
First of all,
I wished for a bed.
So Ruple will say, well, there's the bed rolls, and Ceprunx had a dinghy. I'll show you where it is if you want it.
Are we really playing? I'll show you my dinghy if you show me yours right now. Really? All right.
does any
let's go.
wait. This is probably enough time for the spectral hand to actually have faded, since I just looked it up, and it shouldn't have even lasted that long. But we were rolling with it. So Kendell is going to go over to Elin and turn to Odd, who's applying pressure, and say, when I take this out, you need to apply much more pressure. And
I am not
so-
strong.
I don't sign the contract. I don't sign the contract.
So that's
Okay. I
So-
stand up and start slowly trudging over.
we just want to make sure that it heals properly when I do heal it. That's all.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oddly,
I'm so
very
glad.
nervous
I'm so
for
glad
one,
you're ready,
but
Odd.
He's ready.
That if we rest here, short rest, Ewan can just spend a hit die because she still has hers and heal.
I feel like this thematically makes more sense though, because
Great.
Elan's been complaining of pain.
Just want to make sure that everyone remembers things.
So
This is cool.
All right, I'm ready.
all right,
I
and
don't sign the contract. Kendall, you heard me say it. They heard it. Buka over there heard it. All
Why
right,
do you-
dude.
So loud.
why do you
about it.
think that you're dying? And he
I
puts a
don't-
hand. He puts a hand on the area right above was it an arrow? Puts it right above that, and then pulls the arrow as his hand glows and goes, "It's not your time." And healing words you. That is hot dang. I've been rolling really well for healing word today. It is a 6.
You know, Kendall.
So that should put you up.
It's all about. It's not about the death. It's about the romance. Right? You ever
As
read
you're
the
saying
tale?
this, Otto's gonna grab the towel that he has and just collapse onto you with his full body weight.
Oh God, Audie, you're ruining the moment.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
This is a
love?
rather aggressive
Just
tale
walk
now,
away.
Audie. Hey, this is not how they get the girl or the guy. That hurt. I think you broke my
Kendall?
lung.
While that theatrics is happening, Kendall is going to turn back to the goblin and go, there is rope around here.
Yes, and they'll point to one of the barrels that has a rope
Then
in
you
it.
will go get me that rope.
Oh, are we doing that kind of story now?
Yes,
I gotta fix the lung.
and
Hold
they
on.
do that.
And he goes, turn around.
Yep.
All right, tie me up.
And he's taking the rope from him.
them?
He goes, put your
No,
hands
you-
behind your back.
Does that?
Elin
And
puts her
Kendall's
hands
going
behind
to
his
tie his hands behind his back and go, all right, now I can trust that I can sleep near you, okay?
Yes.
Kendall, are you good? Are you tying me up too?
No, I'm not tying you up. I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep the Jorblin from killing us in our
I
sleep.
thought you were talking to me. I said, "Oh, are we playing that story?" I put my hands out for you, and I thought you were going to tie me
I
up.
did not
We're doing
respond
that.
at any
Okay.
point to any of the things you were saying. Why
I
would you
couldn't
think I was?
Exactly.
Do you want to see the dinghy?
Yes, but first, we are very tired.
It's a
And
context
we must
thing.
have at least a small rest.
Okay. So I think even this can be done if you decide that you're going to take a long rest here with Ruple.
Yeah, I think that's what we want to do.
We've decided. I
think we're
want to adopt
spent.
Ruple.
I'm exhausted, literally.
Okay, so during the long rest and kind of during the downtime, Ruple will unclap, will kind of will show you to a collapsed rock wall that you would walk by as they had led you out, and it will kind of show you that it opens up, and as they lead you, assuming that you trust them, which I don't know if you do.
Do you want to show the map for this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to grab your character, and I'm just going to have to bring them over there.
Was there anything also just before we exit that situation? We searched those crates thoroughly, Molly.
Yeah, you got basically what was in there, yep.
Fantastic.
So right over here, there's a collapsed rock wall where the goblin is.
I'm trying.
Where?
I don't know where the goblin is. Did I go to the right place?
Let me see.
I thought this was the collapsed rock wall.
There's that one, but there's another one.
Oh.
Closer to.
I guess we
Closer to where you
made
were.
that mistake.
Where we were. Okay.
And so you should see a door there.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, Adora is actually not the rock wall. Adora is a person that's playing Karis. Come on.
Thanks for the alley-oop.
Oh my god. All right, so I just shot. I'm just gonna slingshot y'all over to the other side.
I have been Molly yeeted.
You have been yoked. All right, so following
I have been
this meandering cave, you will come to the cave will back up onto the ocean, and you'll see as you start to round this this corner here, you will see a small ship, and then as you get closer, you start rubbing your eyes because
allergies.
Yeah, allergies, just really bad tropical allergies this time of year, you know, just it's all the mosquitoes.
Too many things are alive, all right.
An island that was previously not there has become manifest on the other side of the shoals that you were navigating. As you look out at this island, you see your eyes traipse up from a thick jungle floor with cascading vines coming down from an arching canopy. Your eyes trickle up this sheer volcanic rock wall and to the boat arch at the top, and a small, thin trail of smoke seems to be coming out of the volcano. As your eye falls down the other side of the mountain, you fall into it again lands on this lush green forest landscape, and you see a much thicker, darker plume of smoke coming up out of it. What you might recognize as the site of a burning village.